Good evening. Welcome to our meeting. I'd like to call our meeting to order and turn to Board Member Deborah Napper to open us up. Thank you. We will begin tonight's meeting by remembering 3 students who passed away earlier this year. Although we celebrate their lives and the positive impact they made on the Guilford County School family, our hearts are extended in grief to their loved ones. On behalf of the Board of Education, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to the families, friends, and teachers of Brandon Bowie, Darion LeGrand, and Kenyon Saxton, rising 9th graders at Dudley High.
Brandon Bowie was a kind of young man who could brighten anyone's day simply by walking into a room. He showed up to school each day with a smile that could light up the world. And that smile made a lasting impact on all of us. Loved by his peers, his teachers, and the administration, Brandon had a presence that filled the halls of Harrison Middle School with positivity and joy. Brandon had a passion for sports, especially basketball, and he brought the same energy and determination to the court as he did to everyday life. His love for the game was infectious, and he inspired those around him to strive for their best. The staff said, "We love you, Brandon. We miss you dearly. You will forever be a part of our Harrison family."
Darion LeGrand was a typical middle school student. He enjoyed being at school and socializing with his friends. Darion understood his purpose for being at school and was always respectful to his teachers. He was never mean-spirited and made himself easy to befriend. His death surprised and hurt his Jackson Middle School family. The school staff and administrators offer their sincere condolences to Darion's family and friends.
Kenyon Saxton, a bright light in the school community with a contagious smile that lit up every room he entered. Kenyon had a special way of making those around him feel seen and valued. He was always ready to lend a hand in the classroom, earning the admiration and respect of teachers and classmates alike. Kenyon's love for sports was undeniable. Whether on the basketball court or the baseball field, his charisma and passion shone through. He approached each game with the same enthusiasm he brought to his academic life, especially in his favorite subjects, math and science. Beyond his talents and achievements, Kenyon was known for his deep respect for others and his joy in spending time with friends. His presence at Harrison Middle School was a gift, and his absence will be profoundly felt.
Although we were only privileged to know these students for a brief amount of time, in their own ways, they helped to create heartwarming memories that will be cherished forever. To honor these students, please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Let's continue by recognizing our Employee of the Month, Dee Jordan. Come on down. The district's academically gifted department serves more than 12,000 students in grades K through 12 with various opportunities available for rigorous advanced coursework. One of the passionate staff members helping bring learning opportunities to our students is AG Coordinator Dee Jordan, a dedicated Guilford County Schools employee. Jordan has served in various roles across the district, including classroom educator, counselor, and testing coordinator. This month, on the eve of her retirement, she was named the Guilford County School Employee of the Month. Dee has dedicated an impressive 32 years to serving the students and teachers of Guilford County Schools. You look way too young to have served 32 years, but will be retiring on October 31st, 2024, says Social Studies Coordinator Tia Thompson. Her unwavering passion and determination ensure that all students have access to equitable and engaging learning opportunities. Dee's commitment inspires those around her to strive for excellence. Colleagues who have had the privilege of working alongside Dee recognize her fierce advocacy for underrepresented African American males. Her extensive knowledge and heartfelt approach to serving our district have empowered many, resulting in improved life outcomes for both students and teachers. Dee's dedication to her work is evident, and she continuously sets high standards for herself and others. Her impact on the Guilford County Schools family is profound and making her a deserving candidate for Employee of the Month. Dee received a $50 gift card courtesy of the Greensboro Jaycees, and during the month of October, your photo will be displayed at the district central offices and the Greensboro Jaycees office. At this time, I'd like to ask Board Member Kim Irby to read aloud the certificate honoring Dee.
Guilford County Board of Education Certificate of Recognition presented to Dee Jordan, Academically Gifted Coordinator for the Employee of the Month, sponsored by Greensboro Jaycees, and it's signed by Dr. Oakley and our board chair, Dina Hayes. Congratulations to you, and we know that we're going to miss you, and you're probably irreplaceable. So thank you. Thank you for your service to Guilford County.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Dee, would you like to say a few words?
I do have a few words. First is my birthday.
Oh,
so-
happy birthday.
But I came to Greensboro to attend North Carolina A&T State University, majoring in math education and with a focus on computer science. I remember having a conversation with my dad about moving more towards the computer science, but his advice to me was, your heart will not be happy, follow your heart. Now, I must admit that throughout my career in education, there have been times that my pocketbook has questioned that advice. Unfortunately, my dad passed away and never got to see me become a teacher. As I reflect on my tenure in Guilford County Schools and this opportunity to stand before you today as the October Employee of the Month, I can honestly say that my heart has never regretted my decision to become an educator. I have ran into others who have hearts and gifts of service, big, if not bigger than my own. Sometime earlier in my career, I came across a quote. It was actually on a poster that caught my eyes. It was an African-American male dancing in the rain. And the quote simply said, "There is a child in each of us that dreams of a glorious future." As a central office staff member, this quote has helped me to focus on the decisions I make. Are those decisions a value add that helps students get to that glorious future, or are they a burden that only focuses on the simplicity of compliance? Over the years, I have learned that it takes a big heart to see the glorious future in students, that we have to be willing to visualize what the natural eye cannot see, that from the moment that students walk into pre-K to attend a Guilford County school, they have that glorious future inside of them. For the past 7 years, I've had the role that has allowed me to advocate on the behalf of students who already perform at or above grade level. I am proud to say that those students represent every zip code in Guilford County, every ethnicity in Guilford County, and they are full of strong potential. When I came to this role, I was challenged to make sure that our district does right, to recognize those students who look like my two children. My daughter, Michaela, who's a 2018 graduate of the early college at Guilford. She's here by FaceTime. My son, Dylan, who's a 2024 graduate of Weaver. Their pictures have guided me along with that poster. I know that this school system is filled with students from every zip code, every social economic status, and any other barrier that we put against them. They have a glorious future. As I leave Guilford County, I am proud to say that I have done a job well done that I am proud of. But I know that there is someone behind me to come and fill in and take our district even further. We are truly better together. So Guilford County Schools, thank you for 32 years. And if I had to do it all over again, I think I still would choose education.
Thank you, Dee. We would like to shake your hand, your family's hand, and any representatives from your department that's here.
Oh, and my husband too.
Of course, yes, that's part of your family. Oh, she had to recognize your husband, right? We will not be recognizing our October Volunteer of the Month, Mr. Scott Catano, a volunteer with Summerfield Elementary tonight, as he is unfortunately unable to be in attendance this evening. But we look forward to recognizing him at our next meeting in November. And we would like to send out a heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Catano in his absence. We are now at public comments, and we have all of our slots filled and a few alternatives. We'd just like to remind our public speakers and our audience that you have 3 minutes to make your comments. When you have 15 seconds left, an amber light will come on. When your time is up, a red light will come on and a little buzzer. We'd like for you to wrap up your comments. If you are in agreement or support what's being said, we would like you to demonstrate that by doing this so that the speaker can continue uninterrupted. When you approach the podium, we would like for you to give your name and address. We would also request that you refrain from mentioning any student or personnel by name. If there's some assistance that you need, we have staff here that will work with you and meet you in the lobby to discuss your concerns. With that said, I'll call our first speaker, Maria Adams, followed by Morgan Carter. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Maria Adams, and I live in Summerfield, North Carolina. Thank you so much for the opportunity to address the board this evening. I'm a parent of a GCS high school student, and I'm also here as in my official role as the chair of the Guilford County Moms for Liberty. Last month, I met with Dr. Oakley, board member Chrissy Pratt, board attorney Ms. Elizabeth Troutman, and the director of student services to discuss policy /4035/7236, non-discrimination on the basis of sex. And for brevity, I will refer to this policy as the Title IX policy. So, Dr. Oakley, I'm very grateful for the meeting because it allowed us to share our parents' deep concerns about how the new Title IX policy will affect our children. And I want to share with you what was discussed during that meeting. Members of our organization, as well as parents throughout the county, have raised concerns about the potential impact on free speech and the possibility of female students being compelled to share bathrooms and locker rooms with male students. We expressed to Dr. Oakley that the Title IX policy will profoundly impact First Amendment rights, parental rights, and the due process of those accused of Title IX violations. We explained that our organization, Moms for Liberty, sued the Department of Education and was awarded a federal preliminary injunction. As the parties explained in the briefing before the court, this will have devastating consequences for free speech. The court agreed, ruling that the new rule is so vague that students will be forced to self-censor rather than risk punishment. And the order prohibits the Department of Education from enforcing the new rule against the children of Moms for Liberty members. Via email, I provided Dr. Oakley and the board all the documents related to the case. The following statement is taken directly from the conclusion of the injunctive relief. Accordingly, it is hereby ordered that the United States Department of Education, Miguel Cardano, Secretary of the U.S. Department of Education, the United States Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, Attorney General of the United States, and all their respective officers, agents, employees, attorneys, and persons acting in concert or participation with them are enjoined from implementing, enacting, enforcing, or taking any action to enforce the final rule promulgated by the Department of Education titled Non-Discrimination on the Basis of Sex in Education Programs or Activities Receiving Federal Financial Assistance, set to become effective on August 1st against the schools attended by the children of the current and prospective members of Moms for Liberty. The children of Moms for Liberty members are enrolled in schools throughout the county, and we are in the process of recruiting additional members so that every school in Guilford County will be protected under our injunction, and any Title IX complaints brought against students at these schools will be contested. So given that this policy will directly conflict with our injunctive relief, may I finish just 2 sentences, and potentially violate children's First Amendment rights, I respectfully ask you to rescind the Title IX policy. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. Morgan Carter, followed by Sarah Porter. Welcome.
I'm actually Sarah Porter. Morgan Carter is not here.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Sarah Porter, and I am a proud queer mom of GCS students. I am here to express my strong support for the non-discrimination on the basis of sex policy, Code 1725, 4035, 7236. I will share 2 points to consider in support of this policy. First, it is imperative that the board is in alignment with and comply with federal policy. We receive funds from the federal government to run our schools. If we do not comply with federal policy, we could lose those funds. This is particularly important given the lack of funding and support for public schools from our General Assembly, who recently passed a bill which would allocate almost $500,000 to pay for private school vouchers for families regardless of income. This bill takes money and students out of the public schools. To reiterate, this policy ensures GCS continues to receive funds from the federal government to run our schools. Second, and most importantly, the broad definition of sex to include gender and sexual diversity creates an inclusive and safe environment for all students to learn. Whereas laws and policies that narrowly restrict expression of gender and sexual diversity is harmful to queer and trans youth. A recent paper published in Nature's Human Behavior found that in the year following the passage of anti-LGBTQ legislation, the rate of suicide attempts by transgender and non-binary youth increased as much as 72% in some states. Similarly, the 2024 survey of LGBTQ+ youth from the Trevor Project found that 90% of queer and trans youth reported that their well-being was negatively impacted by the anti-LGBTQ legislation, and nearly half reported experiencing discrimination in the past year. In contrast, LGBTQ young people who reported living in very accepting communities attempted suicide at less than half the rate of those reported living in very unaccepting communities. Adoption of this policy is literally a life or death issue for our community. The inclusion of a Title IX coordinator and yearly training for faculty and staff will create a strong signal that GCS will not tolerate discrimination on the basis of sex. In conclusion, I wholeheartedly support the adoption of this policy for the health and well-being of GCS staff and families. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Inez Elliott, followed by, I hope I say your name correct, Raquelia Kilby. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Inez Elliott. I've been a resident of Guilford County and Brown Summit for the last 12 years. I'm also the mother of 3 who attended Guilford County schools. While in middle school, my youngest came out to our family. About 8 months later, in high school, they announced they were transgender and told us if we couldn't accept this, that we should drop them at their friend's home. My husband and I needed to understand what transgender meant and how to support our beautiful child. And we found PFLAG Greensboro, who supports families and friends in addition to those identifying as LGBTQ. Some teachers in the school were supportive, and student behavior, especially, was brutal. To this day, I'm still learning about the treatment that my child received in school, which no one should endure, and is clearly defined as harassment and bullying. I'm here as the proud mother of Brett, as a strong ally to the LGBTQ+ community and the president of our chapter of PFLAG. Before my child came out, I never knew anyone who was gay. And now I am an active ally advocating for those who are discriminated against for no discernible reason. I share this insight. I asked Brett why they've always worn a mask whenever they leave the house, and the answer was, "Mom, I wear a mask to be protected from COVID and to protect others, but I also wear it to protect myself." To my dismay, they wear a mask to provide protection from harassment when they're in public. No one should feel this way. And I have heard directly from youth attending our schools in Guilford County that they hear disrespectful behaviors towards themselves and others. And they are asking, and I'm bringing this to you, they are asking for teachers to be trained in what actions to take when this happens. When did we decide to allow discrimination and harassment in our schools? We have to keep Title IX in place in order to fight discrimination and harassment in the schools and protect all children. PFLAG's vision is an equitable, inclusive world where every LGBTQ person is safe, celebrated, empowered, and loved. Isn't that what we want for everyone? It is my belief that everyone deserves the opportunity to thrive as their best self at school and at home. In a study this year, the Human Rights Campaign found that in states with anti-transgender laws aimed at minors, like in North Carolina, suicide attempts increased by as much as 72%. And that's absolutely shocking and unacceptable. All children are entitled to a public education. All children attending public schools, whether white, black, brown, Asian, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, straight, or gay, are entitled to a safe learning environment. We need your help ensuring this happens. We must continue to follow Title IX as it's intended so that every child is treated with respect and dignity, and ensure that educators and their support team know what to do when a child demonstrates hateful behavior. Thank you. I trust you to lead with love.
Thank you. Raquelia Kilby, followed by Ryan Hughes. Welcome.
Hi, good evening. Raquelia Kilby, proud daughter of a public school teacher, 42 years, DC Public Schools, as well as a parent of an 11th grader in Guilford County Schools. Zip code's 27410. Before I get started, too, I just want to, I was a teenage parent, and as a teenage parent, Title IX also impacts those who are pregnant and married in the public schools, and without that protection, you're allowing for discrimination against them as well. Using an excerpt from Dr. David John's National Black Justice Coalition recent speech about the impact of anti-gay legislation on the health of our students. Finish the song with me. Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words will absolutely hurt you. In spite of the lie that you may have ingested by that mantra taught to us as children, words do actually matter. On September 26th of this year, there was new data that was released to help us understand that there's a relationship between the increase of legislation targeting children, that's right, political bullies who have publicly called LGBTQ+ children trash while standing in a church pulpit of all places. Those actions, both talking about targeting children and terrorizing them and then passing restrictive laws that actually do that, they actually matter. And we now have data that shows that there's an increase, I was doing so well. In the rate in which children are committing suicide, the rate in which children are receiving lessons that the life that they did not ask to be born into doesn't matter. Over the last legislative political cycle, nearly 600 anti-gay LGBTQ+ bills have been introduced, the vast majority of those targeting children. As a result, our children, our babies, have been exposed to increasing tension amongst peers and creating stressors that are experiencing and they're also articulating to us, as well as an increase in hate crimes. This should upset every single person who acknowledges that they have feelings. Our children have been exposed to additional risks with regard to their emotional, physical, psychological, mental, social well-being because of problems that adults have created and they're still trying to sustain. The biggest hate crime being committed is by political bullies who are legislating genocide, denying children in particular life-saving and affirming care, medical procedures that other people get to access without question, without consideration, denying students the ability to play sports activities with their peers, access to water fountains, and to bathrooms. I just want to say this is in honor of my friend Eternity Phillips, who took their own life last month, September 7th, at 41 years old, because no matter how much therapy, how many church services, how many lives they touched, they could never understand why the adults in their community didn't think that they were worthy enough to protect. I'm here to ask the Guilford County Board of Education to adopt Title IX Policy 1725/4035/7236 for all schools.
Thank you. Ryan Hughes, followed by Heather Scafone. Scafone.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ryan Hughes, and I'm a resident of Greensboro, an educator, and I co-facilitate a program at the Guilford Green Foundation downtown called LEARN, which is the LGBTQ+ Educators and Allies Resource Network. And today I stand before you as an educator and advocate for the dignity, safety, and well-being of every student in our community, especially those who identify as LGBTQ+. I'm here tonight to support the board's proposed non-discrimination on the basis of sex policy. This policy is not merely a set of guidelines, but a commitment to fostering an inclusive environment where every student and employee feels valued for who they are. As an educator, I have witnessed firsthand how a safe and accepting school environment can transform a student's ability to learn and thrive. Unfortunately, LGBTQ+ students often face unique challenges such as discrimination, harassment, and bullying, which can lead to lower academic performance, increased absenteeism, and higher rates of mental health struggles. By adopting this policy, the board is taking a critical step forward at dismantling barriers to ensure that all of our students can succeed without fear of discrimination based on their gender identity, sex, or sexual orientation. Adopting the non-discrimination on the basis of sex policy aligns with federal Title IX regulations. It also reinforces our county's commitment to equity, justice, and inclusion in our schools by fostering learning environments where everyone can authentically express themselves without fear of prejudice or retaliation. The policy's comprehensive approach is instrumental in creating a safe and equitable educational environment. It prohibits sex-based discrimination, establishes clear grievance procedures for addressing complaints, and mandates training for employees to recognize and prevent discrimination. Additionally, designating a Title IX coordinator ensures there are individuals responsible for overseeing the implementation of these protections, providing both accessibility and accountability to support our schools. Adopting this policy ensures that every child, regardless of their gender identity or sexual orientation, feels safe, supported, and empowered to reach their full potential in our schools. As a community dedicated to education and the well-being of youth, we have a moral responsibility to protect and nurture all of our students. This policy is a significant step forward in fulfilling that responsibility, and together we have the power to build a brighter and more inclusive future for our county. Thank you for your time and for considering the policy tonight.
Thank you. Heather Scafone, followed by Nolan Jones. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Heather Scavone, and I would love to express my really deep gratitude for the way that board members and GCS staff have engaged with the Moorhead community over the past 2 weeks. So we hope it's been really evident to you all from your interactions with our families that as a community, we're very grateful that GCS is expanding its arts footprint by opening the VPA. As families who recognize the transformative impact of the expressive arts on our children's education, we're really delighted that more GCS families will have the opportunity to experience what we have experienced at Moorhead. For board members who visited during the past 2 weeks at Moorhead, they saw how a Title I school with a majority of economically disadvantaged students can be a model of academic success. And so again, we're so grateful that GCS has for the moment decided not to pursue removing our arts magnet designation. I'm going to go totally off script, and I'm speaking in my personal capacity, not on behalf of the Moorhead PTA, but briefly use my megaphone to speak out for the families of District 7. So these are the families and children of Irwin Montessori and Hampton and Peeler, who are not represented tonight because their schools were destroyed by a tornado 6 years ago, and they don't have a school community anymore. They don't have a PTA. They don't know that they need to be here. They have no one standing up for them. And they are watching this big, beautiful new VPA school be built in their backyard in East Greensboro, where there's high economic disadvantage, and they have no idea that their children will not be able to go to that school because it's 100% magnet. And this incredible new school that they're seeing, which they're watching be built brick by brick, it's going to be 100% magnet. So I really urge you to consider doing what has worked so well for Moorhead, which is give that school a neighborhood boundary zone. That's why we have so many economically disadvantaged kids who are thriving there. Their parents don't know necessarily to sign up and do the magnet application, but they are guaranteed to go there. And these children who watched their schools be destroyed and are now watching a school be rebuilt, their parents don't even know that they need to apply. And anyway, application is a chance at a lottery. Please give them a boundary zone. Make sure that those children are able to stay there. Now, the next thing I wanted to speak to is that the proposal that's on the floor this evening is for new feeder zones to be introduced that would only be applied to Moorhead and the VPA. And this, despite the fact that Greensboro has had a 20-year history of fully enrolling 2 arts magnets, where everybody in Greensboro could apply to both, which guarantees that you get a first and a second choice, whereas now we're going to reduce choice by allowing them to apply only for the one that they're in the feeder zone for. So previously, you could apply for Peeler number 1, Moorhead number 2. If you didn't get into Peeler, you got into Moorhead. Now both schools enroll. I worry for both VPA and for Moorhead that by dividing into feeder zones, you now have a situation where people are categorically prohibited from applying to the other arts school because they're not in that zone. They're also not eligible for reassignment, as you know, because the board policy for reassignment prohibits reassignment to a magnet. So what is the fiscal justification? What is the social justification or the academic justification for this proposal? We need to see either the line item or anything that would support why this is a better choice for families and for GCS. Thank you.
Thank you. Nolan Jones, followed by Allie Holcomb.
Hello, everyone. And you know me as Nolan Jones, of course. I'm back here again. I just got in town from Seattle, Washington, just an hour ago. Now, this is so important to me because, as you've seen in my emails that I've sent to all of you, you know, the really, really struggling schools and these young people that are basically through, if you looked at their outcomes of the future, it's going to be dismal. And what I pointed out is that there's over 30,000 students that are in this state that are going to be illiterate. They can't even read at a 3rd grade level. And what I'm back here for is that in October of last year, we were going to put in a pilot program at one of the schools that was right in the middle, that was one of the low performing schools. But time went by, and then all of these other complications came up where that no one wanted to put the pilot together and then introduce my KeyStack application. So now I'm back here hoping that I can meet with the staff, and this time where that all the members that are responsible for getting applications into the schools, that they will all be a part of the demo so that we can work out all the issues so that we can bring my application into the school system for 24-25. Because we need to think outside the box. And my application is the real deal. I'm the inventor, I'm the patent holder. I'm not some of these things that you may have seen. And one of the things that I sent in the last email this evening about Mavis, please go look at that video. The typing person, most people in here probably heard of Mavis Beacon, okay? Look at that video. These young women that went and investigated this situation, they did a excellent job. And what you'll see is that that was a facade. I'm the real deal. okay? I'm the real deal. So I wish that you would give me the opportunity to come back to meet with your staff so that we can put this together so that our children can learn to read when they're in the 3rd grade. Thank you.
Thank you. Allie Holcomb, followed by Carrie Ballman. Carrie Ballman. Carrie Ballman, followed by our first alternate speaker, Ray Robinson.
Carrie Bauman, 813
Bauman.
Montpelier Drive, Greensboro. I've been part of the Moorhead community since 2007 when my husband did his student teaching there and began working there the following year. It is one of the great success stories in our district. All of the children receive expressive arts instruction. The school has children of many different backgrounds and from many different countries. You can hear English and Spanish and Arabic being spoken in the hallways and see volunteers from a broad range of Moorhead families like the ones you see behind me. When my son was enrolled there, I attended art celebration programs that had me in tears, seeing children from different backgrounds learning about expressing themselves through art. It is an environment that looks and sounds like the world we want our children to live in. I'm grateful that many of you visited Moorhead and its beautiful community in the past weeks as its future was being discussed, getting to know our school a little bit more and the long-term impact it has had on so many. I'm also grateful tonight that I'm here for a different reason than I thought I might be 2 weeks ago. However, I must confess that I am grieved about how the Moorhead community was treated as the original decision was announced. I am a proud public school parent, but if we are going to ask people to invest in our public schools, and if we hope to compete with charter schools and vouchers, we cannot treat families as if their attachment to their school, its programming, and its teachers does not matter. I agree it is important to steward our resources in responsible ways, and as we ask the public to vote for the 0.25% sales tax for our crucial frontline workers, including teachers, it is equally important to remember that our teachers are a valuable resource and deserve to be treated as such. Dr. Oakley's message to families about Moorhead indicated that the current plan was to give the district time to evaluate whether 2 arts-based programs in Greensboro could be sustained. One of the things that caused concern over the past weeks was the suddenness of the decision-making on a compressed timeline. I hope that part of the discussion tonight will be a clearer timeline, explaining how long it would take to gather this information so that we know when a decision will be made. Longtime Moorhead families such as mine know that Moorhead, expressive arts, and Peeler, performing arts, used to coexist for all of Greensboro in those same locations because they were doing different kinds of programming. When the Moorhead Magnet was evaluated before the master plan, it was found to be authentic and effective. The same arts teachers are still there now, doing authentic and effective work. I would ask the board to consider that by proposing and voting on feeder zones tonight and implementing them tomorrow in the GCS choice application, we are once again pursuing a plan on a compressed timeline without data to inform. Please take the time tonight to ask and receive answers about why feeder zones, rather than separate, authentic, and effective programs where all of Greensboro can apply, would be more sound fiscally and pedagogically, as well as what is best for GCS families. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ray Robinson, followed by our second alternate speaker, Elena DeAngelis Carlson. I thought he was coming to the podium. Okay.
I think it's just me.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Elena DeAngelis Carlson, and I am here, the proud Moorhead PTA Vice President. My daughter's in 2nd grade at Moorhead, and my zip code is 27455. So I just want to say that on behalf of everyone at Moorhead, thank you. Thank you, thank you. You're just going to keep hearing that from me while I'm up here. Thank you for taking the time to meet us, to listen to us, to read the emails, to maybe hear some of the phone messages, for calling, for speaking with us. That wasn't for me, right? Okay. So I just want to say thank you for allowing us to remain a magnet, hopefully not just for another 3 years, but for the long term. We have very, very deep roots, and I think you know now how mighty they are and how deep they go. So thank you. On behalf of the teachers, thank you. My daughter's teacher loves to say that the students at Moorhead may represent 34 countries from all around the world, but at Moorhead we speak one language, and that is the arts. So thank you. Thank you for allowing that to be fluent every day, in and out. The staff everyone at Moorhead, the educators, they are invested in what they have created together. And that is what each child is getting. Every single one, not just the magnet, but every child that's there is getting that education. So thank you for allowing that to continue to flourish. In these last 2 weeks, I have heard dozens and dozens of testaments to why Moorhead is so special to families, but one in particular stood out because they moved here sight unseen from Montana, bought a house in Moorhead district specifically because their son has 4 different diagnoses that make him a challenged student in the classroom, some special learning needs. And up to this point, he was in 3rd grade at the time, it was just a chore and horrible to go to school every day. Both of his parents are educators. His mother's entire career has been in special education. And for the first time in his life, when he got to Moorhead, he came home from school smiling and said he finally found a classroom that he felt comfortable in. And he's now a whole year under his belt, his 2nd year underway, and his mom can't say enough about what goes on at Moorhead in all of the classrooms, that the teachers there meet every student where they are, regardless of which little box they check or don't check. So on behalf of all the parents, thank you very much for all of that, allowing that to remain. We just really can't say thank you enough. And as you do continue to think about Moorhead's future and also the future of VPA, I think taking as much time as you can to decide, are those feeders really necessary? Can we just leave it open so that, as we heard already from a speaker, there is a seat for everyone where they may or may not fit in a box, outside of a box, that those lines may or may not really do the value that we think makes sense from the very beginning. And we sure would love to talk to you more about that. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you. And our 3rd alternate and final speaker, Bridget Vanderveen. All right. George Rubenstein. Judy Fowler. All right. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I really did not think I was going to be called, so this is such a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I may or may not have used ChatGPT. I'm just gonna. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Only kidding. Okay. I'm a resident of Greensboro, 27410. I'm coming to you as a Moorhead Elementary parent, but also an educational researcher. One thing I do want to talk about is the profound impact of the Expressive Arts Magnet Program that it has on children's self-efficacy, academic achievement, and language acquisition, particularly for our EL students. In today's educational climate, where much emphasis is placed on standardized testing and a rigid curriculum, we often overlook the importance of nurturing the whole child. Expressive arts education provides a vital counterbalance by creating an environment where students can thrive emotionally, socially, and academically. First, let's talk about self-efficacy. Research tells us that when children feel confident in their ability to succeed, they are more motivated, resilient, and persistent in facing challenges. The expressive arts offer students a platform to express themselves freely, build confidence, and develop a strong sense of personal agency. Whether they are performing a skit, the kids love performing skits, come anytime. I'm telling you, it's very comical. Creating visual art or exploring music, they are gaining confidence in their abilities and seeing the tangible results of their efforts. And perhaps these are efforts that they work hard to do in the classroom, but they do see it in their performance through arts activities. This reinforces the belief that I can do this, a belief that extends well beyond the arts classroom and to all areas of learning and life. Was that my time already? Oh my gosh, I was gonna say, good, thank you. Whew. I know I can talk a lot, but my, okay. But what's equally important is the connection between expressive arts and academic achievement. Numerous studies have shown that integrating the arts into core curriculum subjects leads to higher engagement, deeper learning, and improved problem-solving skills. Students in expressive arts programs don't just memorize facts, they learn to think critically, collaborate, and apply creative solutions to real-world problems. These are the very skills that are increasingly vital in our rapidly changing world. Our magnet program enriches children's cognitive development, making abstract concepts more concrete and meaningful by giving them the place and space to explore and engage in creative classrooms. Now for our EL students, the expressive arts play a unique and powerful role in language acquisition. The arts provide nonverbal and verbal modes of communication that allow EL students to participate fully in the classroom, even as they work to develop English proficiency. Through the arts, it creates opportunities for students to experiment with language in low-pressure situations, building vocabulary and language skills through hands-on experiential learning. Performing arts give a chance for students to practice pronunciation, conversation, and it accelerates their ability to acquire the English language confidently. This multimodal approach is especially critical for students who may struggle with traditional language acquisition. And I will tell you, there are so many stories of students who come to our school not able to speak a word, and by the end, they are very happy to be the alligators or crickets or grasshoppers, memorizing their lines proudly in front of the parents. So thank you for your time very much.
Thank you. And that concludes our public comment portion of our meeting. We are now at approval of the agenda, and I believe we have a motion for an amendment to the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move to amend the agenda to add to the action items 9G, declaration of surplus properties.
Second. Jill, can we just, do we have to have a motion to add that, or can we just do that when we just do the? Okay, just voting on the agenda? Okay. Michael, I do have that C has been pulled, not for you, but you have asked that H, I, and J have been pulled from the agenda. Okay, he was just getting ready to say something. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So items, when we get to the consent agenda, items C, H, I, and J are pulled from that. Dr. Oakley?
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. This evening's consent agenda includes the following items: approval of September 24 meeting minutes, personnel action report, approval of choice feeder boundaries for Moorhead Elementary School, Parkview Village Elementary School, and the new Visual and Performing Arts School, discontinuation of elementary and middle school international baccalaureate programs, consideration of implementation of visual and performing arts programming at the new Visual and Performing Arts School, consideration of implementation of World of Discovery, Career Exploration, and Language Choice Program at Faulkner Elementary School, consideration of implementation of World of Discovery, Career Exploration, and Language Choice Program at Northwood Elementary School, Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment 3 for Construction Manager at Risk Services with Metcon Incorporated for the Brooks Global Studies Elementary School project, Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment 2 for the Construction Manager at Risk Services with Samet Corporation for the Claxton Elementary School project, Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment 3 for Construction Manager at Risk Services with Barnhill Holt Brothers, a joint venture for the Faust Elementary School project, Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment 3 for Construction Manager at Risk Services with Metcon Incorporated for the Kaiser Middle School project, Guaranteed Maximum Price Amendment 2 for Construction Manager at Risk Services with D.A. Everett, the Chrisman Company, a joint venture for the Peck Pre-K-8 School project, contract with AAR of North Carolina Incorporated for the Montlou Academy of Technology roof replacement project, and contract with Triangle Roofing Services for the Jamestown Elementary School roof replacement project. That concludes this evening's consent agenda for your consideration.
All right, so the motion would be from items A through N, excluding C, H, I, and J. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Thank you. Chrissy?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Alan?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Deborah?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Dina, yes. So that passes unanimously. We are now on item C. Was Chrissy the one that pulled that? No. Linda? Oh. Well, several of you want to get pulled. Deborah's the one. All right, Deborah.
Is anybody surprised that this is the Moorhead suggestion? Because we're all like, it was me. Okay, so first off, thank you to everybody at Moorhead for taking the time in these past couple weeks to talk to all of us, and we appreciate you being here tonight. I would like to ask Dr. Oakley to update us to the proposed newest calendar. But before you do that, if you don't mind, allow me, I don't know if it needs to be you, Dr. Oakley, or if it needs to be Dr. Monk, to clarify that with the new VPA that is being built in the Hampton-Peeler area, There was a public comment earlier that I wanted to clarify on. That is a zoned and magnet school, correct?
No,
No?
no. It is a choice school, and it has a preference for 50% of the seats. So 50% of the seats would have weighted for the students who reside in what was formerly the Hampton-Peeler boundary, which is what the board committed to do post-tornado, so that the students who lived in that neighborhood would have preference on the lottery choice seats for the VPA school.
Okay. And what's the capacity at there? How many students does that add up to? Half the capacity of the
Is
school
it
will have a weighted
622?
option. Yeah.
622.
And what is our attendance in that zone?
It's just over 400 students if you count current, but of course that number changes frequently.
So we would have 622 weighted seats?
311.
So just under the attendance zone. Interesting. Okay, thank you. If you want to go ahead with the maps.
Hold on, there's a couple of more questions. Pastor Sherrouse and then Linda.
Follow up to that, those 311 would be part of the magnet application process, though?
Yes, they would just, we'll be holding back half of the available seats to apply that
But
weighted choice.
those neighborhood families would still need to apply.
Yes, because there's might be some families in the neighborhood that don't want to attend a visual and performing arts school. Those students have been attending Bluford, Simpkins, and Faulkner since the tornado.
Am I good?
Are you finished, Pastor Sherrouse?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Linda.
Like one of the speakers said, sometimes that area may not be as well informed on making sure that they are aware that they need to, and going to the magnet sign up is, maybe it's gotten better. I haven't, but I know that it can be overwhelming for finding things in it and knowing how to, so I do agree that maybe we need to make extra effort since it is a new situation, and make sure that that area is fully aware that, the magnet choice is going on. They can sign up online, right? They don't have to go to the magnet fair.
No, and all kinds of outreach. I mean, and from postcards to phone calls to using current principals who have school students who reside there to let them know. It won't be one thing that works. We'll have to do multiple.
All right, so we're going to make a special effort to make sure that everybody is fully aware that when schools, because that's the other thing, they don't really know when the school's going to open. I'm not sure. I mean, busy parents that are working hard jobs and trying to keep kids don't pay attention as much, because I was one of those children. So, it's hard for them to keep the ear to the ground on that stuff. So I just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure all those parents know that they have that opportunity.
I think also just to remember how we got here, right? So we did have lots of parent feedback and given neighboring charter and private schools to not wait and award choice seats in the spring, that felt very late for families, that they wanted to know before the winter break what that choice process looked like and where they were offered a seat so that families could make the best informed decision. That coupled with us receiving the construction completion date for the new visual and performing arts school is kind of the background of how we got to this place. And what you can see here, and I'm happy to answer additional questions, is the proposed feeder pattern. The purple is Parkview. It's important to note that that's also the same area that feeds Penn Griffin. So as we get closer to the Swan 612 opening, we'll need to think about the lines of who's attending which feeder arts programs, understanding that different arts programs are different. The middle is the blue. That is the Moorhead choice proposed feeder. And then the light yellow color is the proposed new visual and performing arts. You might be able to see a little green between the blue and the yellow. That's that 50% preferred seats for those families who reside in that Hampton-Peeler zone. So that's what that map is proposing.
Any more questions, Linda? All right, we've got Betty.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right.
Michael Kim.
For Moorhead, how many, you said you would find this out for me. How many students would not have transportation to Moorhead? I
You
mean,
have the sheet. I believe it's 49, but we'll confirm. It's on that sheet at the bottom.
46.
46.
so with the changes that we have made, only 46 students that currently attend Moorhead would have to get, do their own transportation. All other children would have transportation, correct?
If they decide not to go, if they live in the feeder for VPA and they decide not to take their seat there and stay at Moorhead via reassignment, they would not have transportation.
And how many, can you just go ahead and tell her how many choice students will still live in the Moorhead choice and will still be eligible for transportation?
Currently, there's, you might help me, 89 that live in Moorhead. So 89 that still live in that light blue area that will receive transportation.
Okay. And part of the reason we do that is the busing issue. It's the reason we're trying to kind of build those, like this part goes to this school so that we don't have, it's hard to, we're struggling to get transportation where they go, buses have to crisscross all over the place. So the part of the reason for streamlining this is to minimize the mileage that has to go on to keep our magnets going. Is that a good way of saying that?
Yes.
Okay. Because right now, if we allow any child to go to any magnet and not do, because we're zoning magnets for the most part, that's our new, we're trying to zone all our magnets, like for High Point, it's this one, and we're trying to minimize how far we're having to crisscross, correct?
Yeah, there's some programs that are duplicate. The Montessori is a good example of that. And so we have one that's in High Point and one that serves the greater Greensboro area.
Right. Okay. Because the transportation for magnets is one of our largest concerns as far as busing. And so we are doing some things to try to minimize that. I personally think this is a good compromise. We're also saying that this will keep everything as is for how long?
So in order to give it enough opportunity for data collection, we likely won't be back until 2027 for a couple of reasons. A, we don't get our transportation efficiency ratings until around November or December of each year. So for example, how well we did last year in the 23 school year, we won't know until November or December.
Okay. So we're keeping the program completely intact, most likely for a minimum of 3 years.
The soonest any change would be implemented would be in effect for 28, 29. If we continue to get the efficiency rating when we do, and if we continue to have the October choice application window.
And one of the reasons I'm asking all these questions is to make sure that we get clear information out there and that people do not, think that it's not going to be, they've got it for 3 years, pretty much as is. There's a small, I think a good compromise, you're never ever going to be able to make 100%. So, but I think it's a very good compromise in that it minimized how many students would not have transportation. So I appreciate the staff's effort, and I just think it's a good compromise. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Betty, Michael, Kim, and then Alan.
Yeah, thank you. I want to elaborate on the component that was stated about the school or the area of District 7 not having an advocate and not having a voice. I don't say much in the meeting, but I'm very active in my schools and I'm very active in my community. Therefore, all the families would definitely have a voice. They would have someone to advocate for them, and they definitely would be able to be served because I am very active there. And not only that, we are sending out different kinds of mail-in, door knocking, and different, things for them to know what's going on. The school's supposed to open tentative August 25. They will know. I will be there. And trust me, if you all don't believe me, just watch and see. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael, then Kim.
A lot of questions over theme or magnet. And a lot of parents at Moorhead seem to request having a theme versus a performance. Or actually, beginning I should have said theme and performance. If I'm a parent and I'm applying to the school and I live, let's say, out at Reedy Fork, and I attended Moorhead, would I be able to continue attending Moorhead, or could I apply as a first or second choice, either between Moorhead, VPA, or Parkview?
If you live in Reedy Fork and want transportation, the feeder is VPA on this proposed map.
Okay.
If you attend Moorhead and live at Reedy Fork and want to remain at Moorhead, you can apply for reassignment.
Okay, but the reassignment's in the spring, correct?
The reassignment window, we do it all the time, but it's usually opens May 1st. But we are, that's why we're doing an intent form, so that we know how many intend to stay. And the students who are currently at Moorhead will be granted reassignment through that process.
So with this process, will we have, because what I'm looking at, I think families won't know where their children are going to go or be able to go until all the schools are full and they are accepted. The reassignment's going to be within the spring at a later date, which would be later.
Current Moorhead students will be granted reassignment. New kindergarten students, no. You know what I mean? They would go through the formal reassignment process that happens in the spring. But that's why we're gathering that data from families now.
So, and I understand the funding issue, and the reality is, want to keep funding at the schools so they can keep the level of instruction that they have. As it is right now, there's 514 students that are attending there. Will we still allow 514 students to attend there next year?
Every year, it's a moving target with how many people move into the zip code. So it's been pretty stable over the past couple of years, but there have been years where there's been like an influx. So the number of students accepted and the number of seats that are open are based on the number of students that reside in the neighborhood district.
But the overall capacity of the school is still going to stay the same, which means if we got 514 going now, next year, if there's 514 that want to continue there, whether they're in the district, magnet, or whatever, that they will be able to keep those numbers up to that.
Correct, except for we have to follow the K-3 class size capacity. So that comes first at every school. We can't take 23 kids in a second grade class by state law.
Thank you, Michael. Kim, and then Pastor Sherrouse.
Where's the Montessori school now?
Which one? Irwin is at Wiley, while the new Irwin's being built on the Archer site, and Triangle Lake is in High Point.
Right, I know. High Point. Irwin is at Wiley. So when VPA is done, Irwin is going into that building?
No.
What did you say?
Irwin is will be built on the Archer site. It will be the Greensboro Montessori.
That's where I'm getting, sorry. Okay, so we took care of Irwin. We're taking care of Irwin. Now we're doing Peeler. Am I correct?
Well, Hampton.
In reference to Hampton Peeler. Mm-hmm. Right, okay. I just want to keep it straight because it's a lot. In regard to like the new school, like where are we with staffing a new school, because everyone knows that when you open a new school, there are growing pains, and it's not going to be the same level that a Moorhead or any other school that's already existing. So I'm just trying to understand what is going to be at the choice fair, who is going to be at the choice fair in regard to this VPA.
Well, I think, I mean, an important thing to know is that we'll have to do tours virtually until we're allowed to walk in the building, and we'll have to do this kind of on-the-ground recruitment. There is a plan for having staff available. We've worked with our arts department to be able to explain what the Visual and Performing Arts School will have. The state will fund a principal 6 months ahead of opening, which would be around February, in terms of the new Visual and Performing Arts School, and that will add in a layer. I don't know that I'd say what the school will and won't have, because people would be eligible to transfer there. We've got wonderful teachers all over this community that have been waiting for this school to open. So I think it's the same as when we open the transfer window and we have teachers apply from across the district. We're also advertising this new school in different ways because it's new. And I'd also think it's important to remember that the people that live there are watching it be built and have some excitement just naturally from that, which we saw at the topping out ceremony.
No, I'm aware of a new building, but I'm just saying there's no data about this school yet. So we're asking people to apply to something and be a part of something new. And I think that parents need to understand that in a real way coming from us, that we don't know what's going to happen. We're just being very hopeful around what we're able to do. And every new school, like I said, goes through transitions, and people and community have to have buy-in. If there's no PTA, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand who or why I would want to venture into VPA, being that I can't even meet the principal. I can't, that part is a little troubling to me about opening a new school and there's no staff and asking people to buy into that. So I hope that, I know we have a lot more planning to do about schools and new programs, but I believe that's important in going forward, that we look at those things, and because that's what charter schools do all day. They come into your neighborhood and say, we got this great shiny new thing. They have no data behind them. In reference to Washington, Bluford, you said the little green area is their attendance zone for?
That's the former Hampton Peeler zone.
And there are 401 students in that zone from what I have?
Elementary age.
Right, elementary age, that are guaranteed to be a part of VPA.
That have 50% of the seats preference weighted for them. So they get a weighted, they'll have more of a preference for half of the seats in the lottery process.
Okay, so I'm in Gillespie Park, and my school is going to be Moorhead, not VPA. If I'm zoned for Jones or Gillespie, even though VPA is sitting right there, I won't be able to apply to VPA unless I ask for a reassignment, because my performing arts school is going to be Moorhead.
With these proposed choice
right.
zones, yeah.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael, then Pastor Sherrouse, then Chrissy, then Deborah.
What is the financial cost if we left the Greensboro zone wide open and ran 2 magnet programs within that zone?
We won't know until we have kids that apply and know where they live.
So would it be a potential to see how it washes out for 3 years?
I don't think with a transportation efficiency rating as low as ours is that we can continue to bus students all over the county, given the fact that we've also had about 65 bus driver vacancies for 3 consecutive years.
When I look at this map, I see Summerfield going all the way to VPA, and basically they'll be somewhat passing Moorhead. They're actually being transported farther than they would be going to Moorhead. Same thing with Northern, Jesse Wharton. There are several schools that would be actually closer going to Moorhead than it would be.
They can apply to Parkview.
They can't apply to Parkview.
That's what you're talking about, dropping the boundaries.
Thank you, Pastor Sherrouse and Chrissy, then Deborah.
If such changes were made, would that not then cause other zones to be farther from where they are currently located from the school? Okay, and on the question of feeder zones, I think I just want clarity on this, and I appreciate Board Members Logan and Welburn asking about this, but is the only answer to the question of why feeder zones and not Greensboro-wide transportation? Or are there more reasons that go into the staff recommendation?
There's lots of reasons that go in. I mean, we've looked at seats over time, applications over time, what it means to have a new choice school with a weighted neighborhood magnet, equity, access across the county, staffing, transportation. So I think when the board said, come back, see how this goes, see how we fill the seats, and see what the fiscal implications are, that gives us the opportunity to gather that data in an informed way.
Would you say that many of those factors have changed since the time when the applications were Greensboro-wide rather than feeder zones?
Absolutely. I mean, including the pandemic.
Okay. Second question is on the question of timing. And I think there is wisdom in taking time, taking more time. This has had a quick timeline, the compressed timeline. That's language I've used in some of my correspondence. But I guess I want to ask a clarifying question for my purposes and for everyone's. Since the magnet timeline has already been approved, short of changing that timeline, is it correct to say that without this action tonight, VPA would not be available as a magnet choice tomorrow?
We've already had to extend the elementary window to begin. So middle and high school choice opens tomorrow. Elementary choice opens October 23rd. And we'll still have the subsequent weeks. But yes, we can't build the application to show you what your options are based on your address until we have this decision.
Thank you, Chrissy, and then Deborah.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to the Moorhead community for all of your communications. I apologize for not replying to every single email. We literally got hundreds of emails, but we do appreciate and we read all of them, certainly. It was wonderful to be able to come out to the postcard making day. My husband and I came out and had so much fun watching the kids and getting to talk with everybody, and then getting all the postcards in the mail was kind of a fun little touch too. So thank you. I have a couple of quick questions. First of all, and really these are just mostly clarification, is there anybody who currently attends Moorhead who will be told, no, you can't continue coming to Moorhead?
Only that you would not receive transportation. That
Okay.
if you want transportation, this
You
is
have to provide yourself.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And fifth graders. I mean, we'd love to have
Wow.
them back. But.
Yes, good point. I know that there were concerns expressed previously about staffing, and would Moorhead end up losing staff? We know that staffing is tied to enrollment. Of course, if enrollment happens the way we all sort of think it will, staffing would remain stable unless...
Yeah, there's no indication until students leave seats, that positions follow, just like every other school, every other year when we look at 10th day, 20th day.
Okay. And if the board, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, I just like information, if the board were to vote no on this tonight, what would then happen to this whole Moorhead issue?
The board would have to consider how they want to draw the lines for VPA.
Okay. And you mentioned that the elementary choice window opens tomorrow, but I believe it's being extended, right?
It doesn't open
Oh, sorry.
until October 23rd.
23rd?
So
Okay, I
that
wrote it
based
down
on
wrong.
tonight's decision, we can update the application. It's a process.
Okay.
But middle and high still does open tomorrow.
I got it
And the
backwards.
16th is still the choice showcase.
And how long is the window being extended to since it's opening on the 23rd?
It's November 27th. It's right there at that Thanksgiving holiday.
Perfect. Okay, that was all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, then Pastor Shiraz.
I think mine actually got answered, but Kim.
Okay, Pastor Shiraz, then Kim.
I think a lot of question has been asked around the timeline of this and around this original staff proposal. I think that is fair, and I think that it is also important to know some context for why we arrived at the, again, rushed or compressed timeline. And so, Dr. Oakley, can you correct me if I'm wrong on these dates? But September, because I've had to reconstruct it myself. September 10th, we announced a new magnet window opening October 9th.
That sounds accurate.
Okay. September 16th, we got the update on the VPA construction and that it would be ready to be occupied next school year, 24-25.
Proposed construction completion date,
Okay.
yes, received in that time window.
And so I think it's important for everyone to know that's what drove the next steps of a September 18th call for a meeting of Moorhead community that was held on September 23rd before the September 24th board work session. All of that intended to be in advance of the October 9th opening window. So that is the answer to the question of why things were moving so quickly. And also within that time, we were able to communicate and we were able to pivot, we were able to alter because of you. And so echoing other colleagues' comments, this is how this works. And I want to thank again the Moorhead community for the effective communication that allowed us to make a more thoughtful and adaptive decision. But I also want to advocate for our staff and say that is where their timing came from. And together we, I believe, have come to a much better place.
Thank you, Kim.
In reference to, is there a possibility that this school could not be a magnet? And that it would just be a new neighborhood school?
I mean, the school design is based on a visual and performing arts choice school to serve this part of Greensboro.
Right, but couldn't just everybody go and that just be the programming at that school?
I think the board would have to consider lots of other options, like the neighborhood schools that sit in that neighborhood, and if we want them to be empty. I think this school was built and decided where it would be as a choice school from the get-go.
As opposed to just having it exist and then we just rezone that whole area?
Well, there's lots of sitting schools right there. So if you think about like Blueford and Simpkins even and Washington, and there's lots of other surrounding schools that would have serious implications for.
Yeah, thank you.
So the only thing I would ask Dr. Oakley is how long, prior to this decision tonight, how long has this plan been scheduled?
Since 2019.
So this is not new, the plan to discontinue this program. It's been there. I got an email from someone suggesting that, this changed in the last year or two, and it has not. I also want to say to what Ms. Jenkins was saying, that I live in District 8. People have a tendency to socialize and hang out where they live, and so District 7's right beside me. It's where I go to the gas station, to the grocery store, to nonprofit organizations, events, to churches. I'm just really concerned about the kind of paternalism that I hear that suggests that certain people are less aware and less involved and too busy or too distracted to know what's going on in their community. And I just want us to pay attention to the language and how that sounds, because we're talking about a community that has demographics and that has a history, and there's an interpretation of that, and that just landed on me some kind of way. So I just want to invite all of us to think about, the district does a good job getting information out. There's a plan, and always is a plan for engagement, and especially when there are challenges or obstacles to communication. But this happened, I think, 15 years ago. It was an elementary school in High Point. And I remember the elementary school, I just won't say it right now. But we had a very similar type of advocacy going on, and some things were shared that sound eerily similar to those people and those parents. And so I appreciate the district trying its best to figure this out. We have over 126 schools. As Dr. Oakley said, we are challenged by transportation constraints. I think the majority of the calls that we get when school starts is transportation and trying to figure that out. And so this isn't a decision that's made lightly at all. A lot of things are going to have to be reconfigured and reconsidered to try to come to some consideration. So I've enjoyed working with the district to try to figure that out and being amenable to saying, we'll see what we can do. But this plan has been out since 2019. So it might suggest that there's a lot of people that weren't informed or aware or had the information that's out there. So that concludes my comments on this.
Move the item.
Second.
All right, we're voting on item C, which is the approval of the choice feeder boundaries for Moorhead Elementary School, Parkview Village Elementary School, and the new Visual and Performing Arts School. Chrissy?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Deborah?
Yes.
Michael? Yes. Kim?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Dina, yes. That passes unanimously. We are now at items H, I, and J. Michael, I'll turn to you.
And this, either Dr. Oakley or Mr. Monk, Dr. Monk, in those guaranteed maximum prices, and I know the public looks at that, or I look at that as with the guaranteed maximum price, I look at the word guarantee, which means when we get that price, my expectation and thoughts are we're going to stay within the guaranteed maximum price. And I think the public needs to understand why we are having to amend the guaranteed maximum price after it was presented to the board and it was actually voted up. And we can lump, I think it's the same reason for all three of those schools and programs. And
yes, so these projects were done in phases. So for instance, some of the projects started out with just the site grading and steel. That was a guaranteed maximum price for just that scope. Then later on, we bid out the rest of the building components, and then we brought that back to the board for that particular scope and that guaranteed maximum price. What wasn't included in either one of those previous guaranteed maximum prices were owner's contingency. That was a decision made way back when these projects were first put forth, or playground equipment for the elementary schools. And so that's what we're bringing today, to add those items, those scopes of work to the guaranteed maximum price.
I would like to point out that all of these schools were designed and implemented when?
Around 2021, they started design.
So at that time, we knew we were building new schools and that within each and every one of those schools, we would be replacing playground equipment.
Yes, and at that time, I believe their intent was to purchase all the playground equipment at one time and then install it at the schools. But as we see, we're opening up the schools in phases. They're not all opening at the same time. And so now we're taking the funds that we had allocated in the project budget to purchase them and putting it into the construction contract so that the contractor, as they're completing the project, can also install the playground equipment.
So what, and this is where I struggle with. How can the public see beforehand what the price of schools are going to cost or have a relative, because this was pretty significant increase in both of these. And these projects actually increased repeatedly over and over. But we always knew we would be having playground equipment. So the reality is there is no surprise on that.
So,
other than we're having to pay for it now.
Yeah, so I think, as I said previously, all of these projects were bid in phases, and I think part of that was to get the projects moving. Some of them required demolition on the site, and so that was a whole separate contract. The alternative is that you wait until the entire project is designed and you don't do anything until that point, and then you bid it all, and then you have one guaranteed maximum price. But I believe the intent at the time was to, the bonds had passed, everybody understood what the average inflation, I think it was like 1.5% a month, and the goal was to beat out some of that inflation and get these projects moving.
Now, with the newer projects that we have, are we going to run into this same situation with the ones online right now?
So what we'll do is, we may do phasing, yes, but the plan is to include both owner's contingency as well as playground equipment into the contractor scope of work.
And the total project budget is on the public dashboard.
Correct.
All right, so one is the total project budget going up with these additions?
No.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All right, we're now, is there a motion to accept items H, I, and J?
Move the
So moved.
item.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Kim, I'll start with you this time.
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Deborah?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Chrissy?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Dina, yes, that passes unanimously. We are now at comments from the chair, and let's see if I can take them out of this mess over here. There we go. All right, good evening. Hayes Inman Education Center is a 2024 National School of Character. This school for students with medical complexities and significant cognitive disabilities also showed excellent progress last year. Visit our YouTube channel to learn more about what makes Hayes Inman special. Congratulations to Donnie Walter, orchestra teacher at Northwest Middle and High, who was selected as one of the 25 finalists for the 2025 Grammy Music Educator Awards. Finalists will be announced in December, and the winner will be recognized ahead of the Grammy Awards in February of 2025. We're going to be rooting for Mr. Walter. On October 2nd, we celebrated our custodians during National Custodian Appreciation Day. Our custodial staff are frontline workers who are very essential to the daily function of a school, and we thank them for all that they do to support our students and staff. Unity Day will be here on October 16th as part of National Bullying Prevention Month. Unity Day is a national event dedicated to promoting kindness, acceptance, and inclusion. Participants wear orange as a visible statement against bullying, aim to foster a culture of respect and empathy within our school communities. So I expect we will see a lot of people wearing orange at the Guilford County Schools Choice Showcase. The showcase, which highlights each of our more than 60 choice programs and schools, will take place on Wednesday, October 16th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Greensboro Coliseum Special Events Center now known as the First Horizon Coliseum. Given the change that was approved tonight regarding the choice feeder boundaries for some of our elementary schools, we are adjusting the timeline for our choice application period. Families wishing to apply to an elementary program may apply between October 23rd and November 27th. Those wishing to apply to a middle or high school program may apply between October 9 and November 22nd. Applicants may apply at gcsnc.schoolmint.net. And finally, College Application Week is coming October 21st through the 27th. During this week, many schools across North Carolina will waive their application fees. Visit cfnc.org to learn more and to research colleges and learn about the FAFSA process to apply for federal aid to attend college. Thank you, and this concludes my remarks. Dr. Oakley.
Good evening. I want to start by expressing my concern and sympathy for the people of Western North Carolina who are dealing with the devastating effects of the hurricane. Several of our schools are raising money or collecting donations to support families in that area during their long road to recovery. The North Carolina Disaster Relief Fund is accepting donations for hurricane relief, and you can find a link with more details on the Department of Public Instruction's website at dpi.nc.gov. Guilford County Schools has been recognized by Daybreak Health as the 2024 Trailblazer of the Year for our commitment to support the ongoing mental health and wellness of our students. The district was one of only 6 schools or districts to be recognized nationwide as mental health champions. Strengthening health, wellness, and safety is one of our strategic direction focus areas, and with the help of our partners, we'll be able to continue to provide resources to students. October is National Principals Month, and we want to take a moment to celebrate our incredible principals for the work that they do supporting students and staff. Being a school building leader is extraordinarily challenging work and one that can make a tremendous difference in the culture and the climate of a school. Speaking of outstanding school leaders, I want to congratulate the 7 individuals who took home the top honors for 24-25 at our recent Celebration of Excellence event at the Tanger Center. They are school counselor Stephanie Preston from the Middle College at GTCC High Point, school social worker Clifford Jackson from Ragsdale High, rookie teacher Alexander Holmes from High Point Central High, mentor Ashley Yao from Northeast High, assistant principal Alexa Veach from Sternberger Elementary, Principal Jonathan Brooks from Bessemer Elementary, and teacher Jeffrey Silverthorne from Western High. Also at that event, we announced more than $2 million in donations from the High Point Community Foundation, Shift Ed, and United Healthcare. It was a really great event to showcase our outstanding staff and celebrate community partners. I want to thank those who participated in Principal for a Day. Last week on Wednesday, October 2nd, more than 100 community members took part in this annual event to get a glimpse of what it takes to run a successful school. Thank you to Guilford Education Alliance for hosting and allowing to share district perspectives with the group at a pre-event Zoom meeting. Finally, want to remind everyone that early voting starts on Thursday, October 17th. We encourage all families and staff to be informed before they vote, which includes learning about the proposed fraction of a penny sales tax that would be used to increase pay for our local school teachers and frontline workers like bus drivers, custodians, and maintenance workers, just to name a few. To find your polling place, get early voting information, and learn more about how the sales tax would help GCS staff, visit gcsnc.com/sales tax. Thank you, and that concludes my remarks.
All right, we're now at the annual sustainability report. All right, Dr. Monk.
Thank you. And good evening again to everyone. We're here tonight to provide an update on the progress of the district's sustainability and conservation efforts. It is our desire to transform our approach from just being goal-oriented to actually recognizing how social responsibility is an integral part of the identity of Guilford County Schools. It says on, but Glad I'm not doing a technology update. So tonight we will discuss how we're going to achieve our sustainability and conservation goals and some of the highlights that we've already accomplished. So how do we achieve those goals? Policies. Policies are important for outlining how any organization's expectation for its employees. As a reminder, the board adopted Policy Code 6530, the Energy and Resource Conservation was adopted in 2023. And as shown here are some of those objectives of that policy. In addition to the policy, district staff posted an administrative regulation that reflects the district's commitment to making a good faith effort of having 100% clean energy use by the year 2050. With expectations clearly defined by policy and regulations, we have set out to establish a culture of conservation within GCS. Establishing a culture of conservation is essential not only for the efficient management of our current resources, but also for protecting our environment for the future. As the board sets forth in Policy Code 6530, all school system employees and students shall share in the responsibility for the successful implementation of energy and resource programs. Our district must continue to improve our ability to prioritize sustainability and environmental stewardship over our consumption and promote a conservation-minded culture throughout our organization. While technological innovations such as solar panels and electric vehicles are important advancements for supporting conservation, we must also continue to emphasize the need for the educational programs in our classrooms that focus on sustainable practices that we can personally and collectively do. Through collaboration and partnerships with other governmental entities, higher education institutions, and the business communities, we should be able to strengthen our conservation efforts by combining expertise in sustainability science, education, and policy. Tonight's update also includes highlights of our progress, challenges, and future initiatives for creating a positive impact within our learning environments and the communities that we serve. Some of our key sustainability and conservation highlights are reducing our carbon footprint, which includes initiatives for transitioning to lower carbon footprint through infrastructure for electrical vehicles, utilizing green energy options in our building design, and educating ourselves and staying abreast of environmental concerns as well as the emerging innovations. We've explored new practices and technologies to incorporate into our learning environments and work through that we learn and work in, utilizing sustainable practices. And finally, we have partnered with individuals and organizations within our communities, whether they be through collaborative projects, volunteering opportunities, or monetary contributions, in order to continue our sustainability and conservation initiatives. As you can see here, this is the Brooks Global Project. We are influencing our sustainability efforts in all of our bond projects by using items such as solar panels. However, our budgets don't allow us to do that at all of our projects right now. We are making all of our projects solar ready. As well as those improvements, we've also made transportation increased efficiency improvements. So it's not only about the sustainability of the economics behind improving our transportation, but also reduces our consumption of oil and gas, which has led us to have about a 20% decrease in our fuel costs. As we await our transportation efficiencies for the next school year, we should continue to see that fuel costs go down, as well as things like tires and other things that go along with renewable energy sources. Advancements in renewable energy sources, such as those solar panels that I talked about, offer those opportunities for cleaner energy alternatives other than fossil fuels. Transitioning from gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles to electric vehicles will significantly reduce our carbon emission that we produce when we transport our students and our staff. Last month, we completed the installation of our first electric charging station at our transportation fleet facility, which will allow us to begin making that transition to more electrical vehicles within the district. The district has also committed to building our buildings to leadership in energy and environmental design, also known as LEED certification, at a minimum, and even incorporating that LEED certification where we can in renovations. Our capital improvement projects focus on creating environmentally conscious campus from the design process all the way through the time that we occupy and maintain those facilities. The key principles that we adhere to in green building design are sustainable site development, energy efficiency, sustainable materials, indoor environmental quality, integration of smart technologies such as building automation systems and smart appliances, and inclusive design that ensures that our buildings are accessible to everyone. In order for us to achieve our 100% clean energy by 2050, we must stay the course and invest in sustainable innovations so that our facilities produce at least as much energy as we consume. Lastly, community engagement is crucial to advancing sustainability and conservation efforts. Some of the strategies that we've utilized in the past and will continue to use in the future include hosting events to share knowledge and best practices, campus cleanup and gardening projects, and incorporating sustainability education in our curriculum so that our students are empowered through their training and support so they can advocate for sustainability and conservation in their own communities. In addition to collaborating with other local government agencies, universities, and nonprofit organizations, we have an opportunity to forge partnership with private utility providers and contractors who share our same communities and are committed to creating a cleaner future for them. So what are our next steps? Continue to integrate sustainability topics into our curricula and establish a regular cadence of seminars and workshops to share knowledge about sustainable practices. Utilize technology to not only monitor and report sustainability metrics, but also disseminate that information in a way that engages our students, staff, and community. Increase the investment in sustainable infrastructure, such as energy-efficient buildings that contain renewable energy sources. Partner with individuals and organizations that have established sustainability programs and that we can use for a resource for technical support as well as funding. Evaluate the effectiveness of sustainability initiatives in a manner that informs progress, challenges, and next steps towards sustainability efforts, and develop ways to regularly highlight the impacts of our sustainability initiatives to promote internal and external engagement and awareness. And with that, we'll open it up for questions.
It's been a while back. I can't remember exactly how long, but I do remember at some point when we shared one of these updates, we were told that, was it Volvo was going to give us a couple of electric buses to pilot? Do y'all remember that? There was somebody who was a manufacturer that was going to give us a couple buses to pilot.
We did receive a grant for a bus,
Okay.
as well as that electric charger station that I mentioned.
Okay, and that was, who was the manufacturer? Was it Volvo?
Was it Volvo? Who was the manufacturer? VW.
Okay, all right, great. I just want to give credit where credit's due. Thank you.
All right, well, I have a few questions. I know this is, we've just gotten ourselves in such a situation being so reliant on plastics and things that are really harmful, and now it's expensive to do the right thing. And it's expensive to do the thing that's going to save us over the long haul, to do right now. I was asking you a question earlier about our surfaces, and can you say a little bit more, or it's something you can also bring back, that the opportunity to change from impervious to permeable surfaces with our sort of concrete and asphalt surfaces on the projects going forward, what kind of impact would that have to consider that on and that's just one thing. I think, I'm not sure about cool roofs or solar mini splits or food composting or water catchment or all of the different things that we can do, but I think we need to start doing some more aggressive, sustainable practices now, because it's just going to cost a lot to go back and redo, and we'll save over time by integrating those.
Right, yes. So that's part of what our regulations set out, is to design our facilities to LEED certification at a minimum, even if we don't apply to pay the money to get the certificate. And so depending on what the site will allow us to do, those are some of the things that we will look at doing, is using permeable asphalts and other paving structures for parking lots. Mainly because sometimes right now we're building a lot of more urban, smaller sites, and we don't have area to build big retention ponds to hold that water runoff so that the impurities can be removed. So we have to use those types of innovations not only to construct the buildings, but as you said, to be better stewards of the environment.
Yeah, we also careful about the landscaping, the trees we cut down, and some of the other things that we do, trying to keep as much shade on our buildings and to make sure there's, we're not depleting oxygen or impacting the oxygen impact, because we do have a big carbon footprint, having so many buildings in the county.
We do, and even for those that we may not have had money in the previous budget to add things like solar panels, and we are designing the buildings so that they're oriented on the site so that they can receive those things in the future.
All right, well, thank you. I know we'll have more, that we're trying to do, and I look forward to getting the updates. All right, if there's no questions. Thank you, Dr. Monk. Now at the fun stuff. All right. Okay, so we're now at action items, and you're going to be doing that for Diane tonight, Deborah. So item A has been pulled, so if you want to just go through B through F so we can get through those and then come back and have more discussion on A.
Absolutely. So tonight we are considering 4 policy items. We'll do the last 3. These revisions were reviewed by the policy committee and published for public comment in August. Members of the public who would like to review any policy revisions may do so on tonight's board meeting agenda, which can be accessed at gcsnc.com under the Board of Education. Action item 9B is to adopt the revisions to the policy 6560/8360/9215, just in case you needed another number in there, disposal of surplus property as presented. Item 9C is a motion to adopt a new policy 8340, insurance claims and settlements as presented. And D is to adopt the revisions to policy 8350, inventory of fixed assets as presented.
All right, is there a second? Is there a motion?
Yeah, motion to move those items.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we'll take them one by one. Chrissy?
Yes.
On items B through F?
Yes.
Okay. Linda?
Yes.
Pastor Shiraz?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Deborah?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Diane? Yes. And Dina, yes. That passes unanimously. Items B through F. Item A, I'll turn to you, Linda, for discussion.
B through
Oh,
D.
I'm thinking we were doing, we did B through F. I did. Oh,
Well-
B, C, D, E, and F. Did you want, you wanted to go through them separately, Chrissy?
Yeah, you need to do E and F separately. Yeah, Madam, yeah,
I said B through F.
they need to be separate.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought she did all of those. Okay, so policy, you want me to do them separately, Jill? Yes. Okay, so we're on B, disposal of surplus property. Okay, so B, C, and D, everybody was fine with their vote on B, C, and D. Okay, so, all right, so now you're going to talk about item E.
I'm going to cover item A.
We haven't voted on E and F.
Correct. They're separate presentations.
That's correct, but they're not.
Gotcha.
They're not part of policy.
Okay.
I don't have the information on those.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at all these. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay, I'm
We got
clear
you.
now.
All right, so item A is policy 1725/4035/7236, non-discrimination on the basis of sex. The revision to this policy reflects changes to the federal Title IX sex-based discrimination rules that went into effect in the state of North Carolina on August 1st of 2024. Revisions are based on the U.S. Department of Education model and provides for a faster and more efficient response and resolution to Title IX claims. The revision was posted for comments from August 13th to September 12th, and 10 comments were received.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Then we'll have discussion. Okay. Linda?
The real discussion is that how does this change what we currently do, all right? In other words, our policy as far as who can go into the restrooms currently, does that change this at all? What we currently do, what by law are we required to do?
This policy would not change that particular issue. The new federal regulations do not address facilities. The Department of Education has said that they will issue regulations related to facilities, but they have not done so.
So currently what we do to accommodate students is that they have at least an area or a restroom to. The issue is with the parents, or some parents, is do biological boys get to go into the restroom? And is my understanding that under current law, what is done is that we have to provide a restroom area, not necessarily allow them to go into the restroom, the girls' restroom or the boys' restroom. And I don't mean that, but here, not everyone, all children, what we're seeing is that some children are not comfortable with biological boys going into the restroom. So there again, the issue is making those children uncomfortable. But my understanding is that currently that the law does not change how we are currently handling that situation.
You're correct that this does not change how the district or any other district in North Carolina is required to handle that situation.
And until laws change elsewhere or higher up, we're following the current rules as far as this is concerned.
Yes. The district is always required to follow the law. There are Fourth Circuit cases.
I'm just trying to make clear that this policy does not change the current situation in the school system.
That is absolutely correct.
All right. Then this policy does not change who can be on a sport team.
That's also correct.
All right, so it has no impact on the current situation as far as restrooms and as far as athletics.
Correct.
Because I think people think that this is going to cause a major change in the current situation. And I want to make sure that they understand that that's not going to happen. Regarding discrimination, I have a little concern in that there's a lot of pronouns that are sometimes utilized. And if a child does not use a particular pronoun, would that be concerned discrimination? Because I don't know that they would intentionally, they may intentionally, but how do you dissuade whether it's intentional they're not using the pronoun or they're just not using it because that's not what they're used to doing? Is that making sense what I just said?
So if you're asking a legal question about this or what the policy says, so what this policy does is it has the definition of discrimination. You can see in here, it links back to the existing definition of bullying, harassment, and discrimination that you all already have in policy, which requires that, if students are concerned about another student, the school system or the principal needs to look at a lot of factors. So one misuse of a pronoun would not likely be considered bullying, harassment, or discrimination, but you would look at the intent and the circumstances and how that occurred to determine whether bullying, harassment, or discrimination happened.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, I
Okay.
just, I'm trying to clarify that, the impact of this policy. The impact of this policy does not change, for the most part, anything currently. If we're talking discrimination, it would it should be targeting a particular child for any reason.
Right. So if you walk through the policy, it's a statement of non-discrimination, which is not really any different from what you all currently have in policy. The major change here is around the grievance procedures, which is how the district responds to Title IX complaints. So currently, there is a policy that's consistent with the 2020 regulations that requires extensive time periods for investigations. And what this policy changes, and it's really the only substantive change, is it delegates to the superintendent the authority to adopt grievance procedures which can be similar to your bullying grievance procedures so that the district can respond quickly to Title IX complaints.
Right.
That's really the major difference.
And right now, because sometimes that gets drug out because we don't have that authority, sometimes the victims are, we're not able to take action to mitigate the additional impact to the students, because we have to go through a lengthy process before we can even make any adjustments to the situation. So what this will do is let us at least try to minimize the interaction of the students involved, at least at that much, and try to take a more progressive, because I always hear from parents that we're not doing anything because the investigation takes so long. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't know how many times I hear that. Well, they're not doing any there. And I'm like, I always have to say, well, they're waiting to get all the facts. But this would allow us to do a little bit more than that, quicker, right?
So that's the big change here, correct, is that it eliminates those long waiting periods that are in the current regulations and allows the superintendent to adopt regulations that are more flexible to deal with K-12 situations. The 2020 Title IX regulations are really designed for higher education and didn't provide any flexibility for K-12 schools. So that's the sort of on-the-ground change that would come from this policy.
Thank you.
Chrissy?
So first of all, I want to say that I absolutely think that there is no reason we should be discriminating against any of our students, and that I am fully in support of making sure that we have policies in place that prevent that. That said, and I'm absolutely estimating without remembering exact numbers here, it's my understanding that the previous Title IX on the federal level regulations were approximately maybe a paragraph or so long, and that the new laws that have been put out around this are something like 1,000 pages. So there's a lot of information in there to digest, a whole lot. Ms. Troutman, you gave an excellent example in the meeting that I had with Dr. Oakley that I'd love you to sort of explain again, because you can do it better than I can, about some of what Ms. Wellborn was asking here as far as being able to reduce the amount of time that it takes to deal with an issue. And I believe we were talking about if there was an issue of sexual harassment between two students. Previously, it took maybe a month or so to go through the entire process. And now the new federal regulations allow us to get through that a little bit more quickly. Can you speak to that and just elaborate on that for us, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to. And the 2020 regulations, just to clarify, were also several thousand pages.
Okay, good to know.
I remember because they came out in May of 2020 and I had to read them.
You had some time on your hands.
But so the grievance procedures in the 2020 regs specifically have two parts that I think are going to be major changes here. One is that there are two 10-day waiting periods. So after the investigation is complete, under what you all have currently, the investigator has to provide all the evidence to the complainant and the respondent, so the two students involved, and they have to wait 10 days for both of them to review the evidence and object to any evidence. And if they produce more evidence, then the investigation has to continue, and then another 10-day waiting period has to happen. After that first 10-day waiting period, there's an investigative report that has to be submitted to both parties. And both parties then have 10 days to challenge the investigative report. So this looks a lot more like a court proceeding or something like that, as opposed to how a K-12 school would normally handle bullying. So that automatically, from the very beginning, you're looking at a minimum of 20 calendar days to complete the investigation. The other piece of the 2020 regulations is that the school system's hands are tied in terms of removing a respondent from any activities, because those are considered punitive. So we would consider punishment to be actual suspension or something like that. But the 2020 regs say any kind of removal of the student is going to be punishment, and you cannot do that until after the investigation is complete. So just think about how this has been working. A student comes forward and says, I was sexually assaulted. Then the school system has to go through this long process, cannot necessarily remove the respondent unless there are other circumstances that allow them to do that. And so during the investigation, they're having to go to school together, and we're waiting and waiting for these waiting periods to finish. So I think that ultimately making this more friendly to the K-12 environment and more similar to, empowering the school leaders to address these issues quickly is going to help in those situations.
Great, thank you so much. And I felt like that was a really important change to bring to people's attention. It's just horrific to think of a student who could be in that situation where they've been assaulted and they can't get away from their assailant. And of course, we do have due process in this country, and everyone's innocent until proven guilty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we also want to be sure that our kids are protected. That said, we did also receive 10 comments via email, which are attached to the agenda if anybody wants to look at them, against this policy. And the reason that those were against these changes is around the injunction that Maria Adams spoke about at the beginning of the public comments that Moms for Liberty has out. And so I personally am very torn on this policy. I see that there's some good behind it, but I also see that, there's an injunction that can be affecting our students. And so I personally would be more comfortable with holding off on this policy until we get a little bit more clarification around exactly what that injunction means for students and schools within Guilford County. So that's my comments. Thank you.
Deborah, and then out Pastor Shiraz, and then Michael. Okay, thank you, Pastor, and then Michael.
Having read the comments and heard comments here, I was curious about your interpretation of the said injunction and its implications for us.
Sure. So the injunction was issued by a federal district court in Kansas, the one that says students of members of Moms for Liberty are also impacted by the injunction. There are a couple other injunctions out there that impacts other states, but the one that is at issue is the one from Kansas. Guilford County Schools and the state of North Carolina are not parties to that lawsuit. So the injunction applies to the U.S. Department of Education. It prohibits the federal government from enforcing its new regulations. There is an outstanding question about whether that could even apply in North Carolina, because Kansas doesn't have jurisdiction in North Carolina. But here's, I think, the really important part for you all board members is that the injunction order goes on to say specifically that it does not prohibit any district in the country from adopting policies itself. It's very clear on that point.
Thank you. Michael?
Since we're discussing the national, how many states has this been blocked in? Any changes within Title IX?
26.
So a majority of the states. And it's still ongoing litigation within the Title IX.
Yes, but to be clear, none of the states in the Fourth Circuit where we are, because there's existing law that governs us, are at issue.
All right, if there's no more, Kim?
In reference to safety, if something was to happen to my student, I would be able to ask for a safety transfer.
Yeah, so there is an emergency removal procedure in the 2020 regulations. It is a high bar that has to be proven to remove a student who is a threat to safety.
I'm not talking about that student. I'm talking about my student. If my student was assaulted, I have a right as a parent to ask for a safety transfer to another school.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out how that's related to the Title IX.
Because
but-
you mentioned that there was that the person would not have been found, I guess, guilty of the act, so then I would have to go to school with the person that assaulted me. But I don't have to go to school with that person because I should be able to go to student reassignment and get a safety transfer.
So that is certainly an option for someone who is a victim.
Yeah.
But I think for someone who's experienced sexual assault to insist that they are the ones who have to move schools when they're the victim is not really fair.
I'm not saying I have to. I'm saying I have that option of taking my child to another school, right, Guilford County? Student assignment. If I come to you and say, something happened to my child at this school, now I don't feel my child is safe here because of whatever the incident was, I have the right to go to student assignment and say, I want my child moved to another school. Am I correct?
I mean, you always have the right to request a reassignment.
Right.
I don't want to make a blanket statement about,
That's
how
our
that would work in
policy,
any
though.
individual situation.
Okay.
Michael?
That's Dr. Oakley. As far as the director, where does the funding come for the director in this?
We account for that in our student services budget.
So that doesn't come from the federal money?
No.
All right, if there are no more questions, is there a motion?
Move the item. Second.
All right. Kim, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Michael?
No.
Deborah?
For Addie Gill, yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Linda?
I'm on the fence on this one because of the litigation, so I'm going to vote no.
Chrissy?
No, because of pending litigation.
Diane?
Yes.
And Dina, yes. That passes by a vote of 5-3, 6-3. All right, we are now at item E.
Yeah, good evening, members of the board. So annually, our North Carolina School Boards Association does ask for you to take action to send 4 voting delegates to their annual conference, to their voting or their delegate assembly on November 18th. So I would open it up for volunteers.
All right, who wants to volunteer to be a delegate November 18th at the North Carolina School Board Association Assembly?
Where is this? Raleigh?
It's in Greensboro at the Quarry Center, yeah.
Volunteer.
All right, Pastor Schaus,
I'll volunteer.
Chrissy,
And I always volunteer.
Linda, Kim. All right, that was good. Thank you all.
You can also elect to designate alternates in case anyone cannot attend. But it's not necessary also.
Okay, Betty will do an alternate. I'll be an alternate too. Okay, so you have
We'll
2
talk.
alternates.
The 3 of us can talk.
I know, but you put it out there, okay? All right, so we've got that. Okay, item F.
However, I do need board action to be able to send those to.
So we need to make a motion on that?
Please.
All right. Somebody want to make a motion that we're going to be nominating or sending these 4 people will be our delegates with our 2 alternatives?
So moved.
All right, so that's Alan, Chrissy, Linda, and Kim, with Dina and Betty serving as alternates. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Diane?
You're gonna be there already, so.
So are you going to be there? So do you want to be a delegate?
She's on the board.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there because, I'm, on the board, so.
Can you be a board member and a delegate?
Let you know I will be there.
Yeah, she can be.
Okay.
But that has to be part of the action of this board is what the NCSBA is requiring.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll just, no. So Pastor Schaus looking like he might come off since you will be there.
I'm happy to offer my seat or to offer that to someone else, but I will take it if.
Okay, so since Diane's going to be there.
Yeah,
and-
happy.
Okay,
All right.
and you put your
I'm now not
willingness
even.
to give up your seat
How about I
first.
take one of your alternate spots?
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, so the motion then needs to be Diane, Christy, Linda, and Kim with Pastor Schaus and Betty and Dina as alternates. I know, that's like the whole board except for Michael. And Deborah. Okay, so is that the motion? Is that the
yes.
motion? Okay, is there a second? Okay, second. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Diane?
Yes.
Okay, any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. All right, item F, North Carolina School Board's Action Center 2024-2025 contribution.
All right. This is a contribution to the Action Center would allow its lobbyists to advocate for local bills of interest to Guilford County schools. Lobbying efforts on local issues would include testifying during committees and speaking with legislators, which the NCSBA Government Relations Team has not done in the past unless a bill is precedent setting. Since its inception in 2013, other large districts like Wake County, Charlotte, Mecklenburg, Cumberland have opted to contribute to the Action Center. GCS currently pays an annual membership fee of $29,952. GCS's contribution to the Action Center for the 2024-25 fiscal year would be $10,000. The Legislative Committee recommends that the Board of Education considers whether or not to contribute $10,000 to the North Carolina School Board Action Center. The Legislative Committee is asking that we do contribute the $10,000 to the Action Center.
I'll second. And I'll make a comment in that they have done, number one, they fought the fund date. Thank you. And they also ran a campaign about public education is a public service. And we need those kind of advocacy to support public education. So, second.
Thank you. Deborah, and then Michael.
So I didn't see anywhere where they were present during the bill to send another, $500 million to charter and private schools. They were there?
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, we keep hemorrhaging money out and I never see very much for representation and we can't seem to stop them. So I come up with this question every year of, we continue to fund this, but I don't know that I see any impact from this.
I just want to add that in our discussion, we decided that the new strategy would be that we would become more active at holding them accountable to this contribution. That as a committee and as a board, that we would take those initiatives and making sure that our legislative agenda is definitely on the table. I don't know if you would notice over the years, but Guilford County's legislative agenda has been embedded in the North Carolina School Board agenda. I've seen them take items that we put on the table and now they have been added. So we are definitely in the lead in the whole state legislative agenda. But I think that it's on us to hold them accountable to the contribution. And I know this committee said that that is something that we would be more willing to do as well.
All right, Michael?
Now, Kim can answer this probably, and for the public's perception, this is not associated with a national organization, correct?
No.
There is a total separation between this organization and the national organization. This is primarily representing the state of North Carolina and the school districts within North Carolina. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda and then Chrissy.
It's really, the number of lobbyists they have is only like 3 compared to like charter schools and all these other places. When I first got on this board, they were so happy to see someone come in there for public education, and I'm not against charters, everybody, totally, okay, before you come after me. But I'm just saying, there's only 3 of them. Or like, there's not that many of them. So you've got, these interest groups that come in there and they're going to have a much larger mass too. So they are working hard behind the scenes. It's just, they're not going to be up front. They're not going to have the mass crowd coming because they don't have that kind of staff. But I can guarantee you they're working it behind the scenes and talking to legislators and being in their office and trying to navigate it. So that would be my take on that.
Chrissy?
I just want to echo a little bit of what both Board Member Napper and Board Member Irby just said. I had the same concerns as you, Deborah. I don't like hemorrhaging money. I don't like spending money and feeling like we're not getting something out of it. I think we have a responsibility to the taxpayers of Guilford County and to our constituents to make sure that we're being fiscally responsible. But as Board Member Irby said, we had a lengthy discussion about this in the legislative meeting and talked about really trying to keep up our end of the bargain too, and to do what we can with this group to advocate for ourselves and make sure that if we do agree to spend this money, that it is being well spent and that we're advocating for our own legislative agenda and our own students and staff. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm asking for a motion that we continue to participate.
So that was a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Chrissy?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Deborah?
No.
Michael?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Dina, yes. That passes by a vote of 8-1. All right, we are now at item G. So we have two people who have resolutions to read on item G that we added to the agenda at the beginning of the meeting. And I will turn to, I think, Kim first? No, I don't have it. Okay. Chrissy, you have it? You have the surplus, for one of them. Okay, yeah, you can go first. And then who has the second one?
Totally forgot that we had this on here. So I have a resolution to read. It says, North Carolina, Guilford County Resolution. Whereas the Guilford County Board of Education, the quote, Board of Education, owns certain real property located at 503 Shady Brook Road, High Point, North Carolina. Whereas, as a result of the location and construction of U.S. Highway 311, a portion of the land acquired by the board, which was not incorporated into the infrastructure and site plan for Shady Brook Elementary School, and which consists of plus or minus 0.6 acres, now lying north of U.S. Highway 311, and depicted on the attached drawing, the, quote, subject property, was effectively subdivided from the land occupied by Shady Brook Elementary School. And whereas, in the judgment of the board, the continued use of the subject property is unnecessary and undesirable for public school purposes, thus the subject property constitutes surplus property as defined by NCGS 115C-518A, and should be disposed of in accordance with law so as to maximize asset use for the Guilford County Public Schools. And whereas surplus property shall by law be offered to the Guilford County Board of Commissioners, the, quote, county board, for purchase for fair market value prior to being sold to others by the Board of Education, and the board desires that the subject property be offered to the county board in accordance with state law. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved by the Board of Education that the aforesaid subject property, which is more particularly described as follows, that property identified as PIN number 689-262-5165 and consisting of plus or minus 0.6 acres, lying north of U.S. Highway 311, being a portion of that certain property acquired by the Board of Education pursuant to the deed recorded at Deed Book 2447, page 205 in the Office of the Guilford County Register of Deeds, the, quote, registry, and depicted on Plat Book 48, page 54 of the registry, shall be and hereby is declared to be surplus property, and that this subject property shall be disposed of in accordance with the provisions of North Carolina General Statutes, Chapter 160A, Article 12, after first offering this property to the county board for purchase at its fair market value, and the Board of Education hereby authorizes staff to dispose of the subject property by the means permitted by law in the event that the county board opts not to purchase the subject property for fair market value.
Well, I'm glad it was you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Diane? Oh, she's gone? Okay, all right. So that passes by unanimously, 8-0. All right, resolution number 2, Mr. Logan.
All right. That was a good job, Chrissy. Okay, North Carolina, Guilford County, resolution. Whereas the Guilford County Board of Education, the Board of Education, owns a certain real property located at 4800, 4700, 4600 Chimney Springs Drive, Greensboro, North Carolina. Whereas, as a result of the location and construction of Chimney Springs Drive, portions of the land acquired by the board which were not incorporated into the infrastructure and site plan for Pilot Elementary, and which consists of 3 non-buildable parcels, approximately 0.3, 0.83, and 1.17 plus or minus acres, now lying northwest of Chimney Springs Drive, and depicted on the attached drawing, the subject properties, was effectively subdivided from the land occupied by Pilot Elementary School. And whereas, in the judgment of the board, and the continued use of the subject properties is unnecessary and undesirable for public school purposes, thus the subject properties constitute surplus property as defined by NCGS 115C-518A, and should be disposed of in accordance with law so as to maximize the asset use of the Guilford County Public Schools. And whereas the surplus property shall by law be offered to the Guilford County Board of Commissioners and the County Board for purchase for fair market value prior to being sold to others by the Board of Education, and the board desires that the subject property be offered to the County Board in accordance with state law. Now, therefore, is to resolve by the Board of Education that the aforesaid subject property, which is more particularly described as follows. The property is identified as PIN number 78325936672, PIN number 78325969661, and PIN number 783601583, and consisting of approximately 0.3, 0.83, and 1.17 plus or minus acres respectively, lying northwest of Chimney Springs Drive, being a portion of that certain property acquired by the Board of Education pursuant to the deed at Deed Book 4264, page 1399, in the Office of the Guilford County Register of Deeds, the Registry, and depicted on Plat Book 121, page 100 of the Registry, shall be, and it hereby is declared, surplus property, and that is subject property shall be disposed of in accordance with the provisions of North Carolina General Statutes, Chapter 168, Article 12. After first offering the property to the county board for purchase at its fair market value, and that the Board of Education hereby authorizes staff to dispose of the subject property by means permitted by law in the event that the county board opts not to purchase the subject property for fair market value.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. We are now at board member comments, and Linda, I'll start with you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, we have the time since the board did vote, and everyone didn't comply last board meeting, I'll just say.
Yes, we did.
But the timestamp, that you see the big clock back there? Okay, reset it. Go, Linda. We'll give you,
Number
okay.
one, I'm going to get my celebrations out,
Okay.
which is a celebration of excellence. Congratulations to Jonathan Brooks at Bessemer for winning Principal of the Year. I also attended Brightwood for principal for a day. I spent the day with Principal Stokes and her crew. They did awesome schoolwork in there. I went to several classes. All of them were doing an amazing job with Helen Keller, and I was very impressed. The other thing that I was extremely impressed at Brightwood is, did I say it wrong the first time? No, good, thanks. I get my school, especially if I say BBs. But anyway, I kept walking through that school and realizing how impeccably clean this school was. I'd been in a lot of schools, and this school was impeccable. And I kept asking her, did you have someone come in during the summer and clean it? Did you do this? Did you do that? No. She said that was my custodial staff. And I literally asked her like 3 times because the floors were shiny. The walls were clean. Everything was beautiful. So I want to give a big shout out to the custodial staff at Bessemer that they did an absolute awesome job. And then regarding Western Carolina, I grew up there. I grew up in Fairview. I grew up in Swannanoa. I was in all those areas. I've been up to Lake Lure, Chimney Rock, my whole life. And it's heartbreaking. And what I want to say is they've lost, infrastructure. They don't have jobs. They are a shortage, and a lot of them didn't have flood insurance. So what I really want to say is do not forget, this is a long haul situation. And I'm going to try to put it out there every month. Remember Western Carolina. Because the love is coming in right now, but usually it's very short term. These people really need long-term dedication support. So I will say, please do that. My heart has broke. My nephew's up there. He was fortunate to come out reasonably well. So I just want to say, everybody, but a lot of people lost their whole houses. What I knew as home is not home anymore. So, thank you.
I also attended Principal for a Day last week. Thank you to GEA for sponsoring that and for allowing us to participate. I went out to the High Point Newcomers School, and it was really wonderful to get to understand some of the ins and outs of what they do for our immigrant population of students coming in. And I have some follow-up things that I'm working on for that as well with them. My husband also volunteered to do Principal for a Day and got to go right next door to High Point Central. And I think it's wonderful that we, also allow community members the opportunity to go out and participate in this. And he had a ton of fun. He got to read announcements and turn the bells on and off, and he just had a great time. So it was really cool. So speaking of High Point Central, I wanted to highlight, I think it's so nice when we're able to see Guilford County students go on and succeed in life. When we first moved here, we very often went to Waffle House for breakfast on the weekend, and we were waited on by Jermaine Pratt's mom very often. And I'll explain who he is in a second. First of all, super cool last name. But his mom would wait on us almost every weekend that we were there. And then there was one weekend that she waited on us, and she's like, look at these videos. This is my son. He's in the NFL Combine, and he might get to go to the NFL. And he's a high school Central graduate. He was actually there at the same time that my older son was. And Jermaine did awesome in the Combine and made it into the NFL. And he is currently number 57 on the Cincinnati Bengals. And this weekend, as a Maryland person, I am a Ravens fan, of course, but had the opportunity to go to Cincinnati for the weekend and go to the Bengals-Ravens game. And it was really, really cool to be there rooting on my home team, but also, on the other side, our homegrown boy, Jermaine Pratt, who almost stole the game from the Ravens in overtime. He's the one who caught the ball when there was a big interception and a big thing that happened, but the Ravens pulled it out. So go Ravens. But really, really nice to see a GCS kid being so successful and, just representing us so fantastically. And then in my last 20 seconds, I just want to echo what Linda said about Western North Carolina. We've all seen the news reports. Everything there is just devastating. If you can give, if you can volunteer, or if you can just pray for those people as they work on trying to rebuild their lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Kim?
Yes, my daughter is in Boone, so, she is very fortunate, but some of her friends are, had impact, trees falling on homes, and so they are banding together gratefully. But yes, please continue to send prayers and support to them. And congratulations again to everyone, Mr. Thorne, at Western as well, and of course, Principal Brooks. And I just want to say thank you to those community partners for the Celebration of Excellence, for their generosity and their donation and their commitment to our ongoing work. That was just such a surprise to see that we have that kind of support for the work that everyone is doing. Principal for a Day, I got to go to Oak Hill, and I was with celebrity Sybil Newman as well. Was also another community person that visited Oak Hill. And please remember to vote. Check your registration, check your acceptable ID, go get your free voter ID from the Board of Elections, because we want everybody to have the opportunity to vote. In this county, we have a lot of important things locally and for North Carolina as well. We have board members that are on the ballot, so please participate. I encourage everyone to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, with the discussion of Moorhead Elementary, Moorhead Elementary is a very unique school. I spent the day out there. Went out there on Saturday. Chrissy was out there too. I want to say I responded to every email that was sent in to the school board, and I tried to make it a personal response if I could. I learned a lot about the community. I learned a lot about the program. I learned a lot about the graduates. I learned where people went, what they got out of Moorhead Elementary. And Moorhead Elementary is a success story for Guilford County Schools. And I will say the day that I went out there and visited, it was pouring down rain. I walked through the trailers. I went through the school. Those trailers out there and the conditions are deplorable. But what I learned from those parents, from emails and from discussions, if they have to take a boat to get to elementary school over there at Moorhead, they're going to take that boat to attend it. And I think we really need to be looking at that because, as we say, we get money when students attend public schools. When we have a program that is as successful as that, as we heard, and as I read and I learned, it draws kids, parents, families to Guilford County schools. And as we get upset over opportunity scholarships, Moorhead appears to be one of the greatest opportunities that we do have within Guilford County schools. It draws kids to these schools, and that is what we want. That is the conditions that we need to create. Now, VPA may have the same option of doing that, and I believe it will be successful in doing that. But at the same time, we have to make sure and continue the program that is being successful. And I do have concerns that we are putting up roadblocks to students attending Moorhead. And if the numbers drop, the funding drops, and they lose the instructors. Now, I will say, if you look at the funding for 22 and 23, they are a Title I school, but their per pupil average funding was less than Guilford County's average per pupil funding. And that's off the DPI's website if anybody wants to look up and question me on it. But their per pupil funding was less than the Guilford County schools average. So they're not costing us more money, but they're going to school in deplorable conditions, and they want to be there. And we should take that into consideration. Actually, we should fix those facilities over there. A little deferred maintenance might fix some of the holes in the roofs. So maybe instead of building a school, fixing some of the schools that we have.
Thank you. Deborah?
I do want to start by congratulating all the teachers and staff members that were celebrated at our Celebration of Excellence a few weeks ago. That's always a good time, and it's always so encouraging to celebrate the positives, and there's so much positive coming out of Guilford County schools. A comment was made just a few minutes ago, and I'm not going to specify who because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but it caught my attention that, we're going back and forth over this money to send 3 lobbyists to Raleigh for public schools. In the meantime, charter and private schools, who are by and large, for the most part, owned by corporations and operated as for-profit entities, making profit off of education, send lobbyists, send interest groups, send all of these things to Raleigh. And in the meantime, we're struggling with, is it the right thing to do to fund 3 lobbyists? And I do realize I am the person that voted no on this. It's just interesting food for thought. And it goes to the point that Ms. Irby made earlier. Public education is on the ballot in November. Please go vote. Please vote to the bottom of the ballot, because that's where you'll find me. I'm not up there with the president. I'm all the way at the end. Please not only show up and vote, but find all of us. Find your local representatives, because we are the ones who sit here and decide the policy for you. for your schools, for your children, for Moorhead, for everywhere in this county. And we keep getting challenged with what's the value of public education if all these for-profit entities are walking in the door and taking your students out of your school. I also grew up in Western North Carolina. I grew up in Morganton. I went to Freedom High School. A third of those grounds is still underwater right now. There's no telling what the football field I marched on in marching band is going to look like when it finally comes out from under the field house, probably destroyed, I bet money. In Watauga County, they have much smaller schools and such a smaller system here than we do in Guilford, so does Burke, where I grew up. But in Watauga County, the teachers at the high school there, when they got their cell service back, when they got their landlines back, they started calling their kids. They tracked down every student that attended that school and made sure they were alive and somewhere safe. What is the value of public education? It is on the ballot. It is for us to decide. The pay for these people who invest so much in our children is on the ballot for us to decide with that quarter sales tax referendum. What is the value of public education? Your child's life. Your teachers went and found your kids when they were afraid they'd been swept away in a record-setting hurricane. That is priceless. Thank you.
Thank you. Betty? Thank you. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity to bring welcome at the VPA topping ceremony. And in mentioning VPA, I would say that we do a lot of bragging about other schools. So, of course, I want to brag about my school. So I know that VPA was going to be the best school in Guilford County. I know that we will have students to come to that school, and I know that I am going to work that neighborhood, and if someone wants to help me work it, I invite you to do so, Dr. Marshall, because I do believe in going to my schools, and everybody can tell you that, and I challenge you to do the same. I would like to ask you if you would please, I know you heard that more than one time, please educate yourself on the sales tax. We need your support. We need your vote. And also, my board member already said to vote down ballot. And with the discussion about the Moorhead School, I commend the parents, PTA members, guardians for coming out to support the school, but still be mindful that we will have 3 schools and we are looking at all 3 evenly. We are not looking at one school in particular. On that, I would say, go Cowboys.
Thank you. Pastor?
I find I'm still back at Miss Dee Jordan and her wonderful recognition tonight, her 32 years of service, and celebrate that, her family sharing in that. But I think we missed a real opportunity to sing happy birthday to her. And if I were braver, I would have just started it. And so I think what I would like to do is to invite you to sing with me something else. And I may regret this. But these days where we're reeling because of all of the tragedy, the flood in our state, these days we've learned that a hurricane can drown a mountain. I'm going to use some of my time to say, in my mind, I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Well, I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. All right, that's good. Well done, everybody. Feeling a lot of love and a lot of heartache for a lot of people in our state and all over. And also, like y'all, feeling all the inspiration from the stories of resilience and perseverance and compassion and care. And I think we have also observed how much of that has occurred in that institution that still holds so much trust and centrality and importance in our communities, and that is in our schools. Board Member Napper referenced the wonderful story of the assistant principal, Coleman Bailey, at Watauga, who reported about all of these students being found and how many other schools became these centers of communication and resourcing and had to learn all about disaster management. And of course they did, because that's what our educators and our schools are equipped to do. So I want to recognize that and hope that it can strengthen us and inspire us moving forward. I had a friend who worked in the Gulf Shore after Katrina in disaster response and recovery, and she talks about walking once into a school and seeing overhead a sign with a quote from the educator and the artist and the activist Lila Watson, which read, "If you have come here to help me, don't waste your time. But if you have come here because your liberation or your recovery, your healing is wrapped up together with mine, then come, let us work together." And those are words, and that is a task that we set to for the long haul.
Thank you. I won't repeat some of the things that have been said. Certainly prayers for the families and communities in Western North Carolina. We've been able to house a couple of folks that are still with us in Greensboro from the Asheville area. And so just really appreciate all of the efforts. It's just so heartwarming to see so many donation centers and so many efforts to continue to get supplies and materials and whatever resources people need. You know, the Moorhead decision tonight was not easy. I know when we make complex problems seem simple, it just seems as though, you know, people are just digging into an opinion. But the decision about Moorhead was not an opinion. It was based on an assessment of our schools. While they'll do anything to get to a mobile unit, they're not the most desirable educational environment for students. There could be potentially unsafe building materials, there are potential risk during emergencies, there are ventilation problems, and those can have lasting effects on children. And those are the things that the district is responsible for and has to weigh. When we start talking about the budget and our transportation costs, we can get really romantic about, you know, let's just do anything to get students anywhere. And then, you know, some of those same voices are, we've got to be more fiscally responsible. And so we need to be really careful about drawing lines in the sand and making this as though it's a simple situation. I appreciate the way that the Moorhead community embraces diversity, but I also want to be really clear that that Moorhead has the same gaps among students of color and our students who experience inequitable socioeconomic status. And I don't want that to be covered up by the way that students are embraced there. That's just not okay. Those students are going to have some of the same challenges and same problems as students in other schools. And so I want to just sort of widen our lens and look at this more comprehensively and more holistically, and taking into consideration the passion that people brought to the table. But we have additional responsibilities around student safety and student success and running this district. So I just wanted to make sure I made that clear this evening. And thank you all. I'm not going to hold you any longer. I know you've been here all day. And Dr. Wells just looked at me like, please end your comments. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. All right, Dr. Wells, I'm leaving. We're leaving.